This is a short video about Saul Alinsky, who he is, what he wants, how he plans to get there, and what we can do about it.
As you can see, Alinsky's hero is not Jesus, but Lucifer, the man who rebelled and damaged and destroyed. So Alinsky's work is basically damaging and destroying the next. Alinsky wanted to create a mass organizations to seize power. His book is for the have-nots and how to take it away from the haves. He was interested in social change, but the big thing he wanted was totalitarianism. His idea was this benevolent utopia totalitarianism, something that has been tried and never worked. Alinsky grew up during the Depression. So he was in the 20s during the 30s. He's committed to communism. He is a Marxist through and through. He doesn't profess to have a fixed truth. That is, he won't say what he really believes, or wouldn't say. He's dead now. He believed that the traditional Christian philosophy in the West was weak and negligible. And as a matter of fact, there's some reason to think that he might be right about that. We are having a loss of religion, at least a loss of organized religion. He was a Marxist, but knew that communism would be rejected, so he focused on simple destruction. He said in war, the end justifies almost any means, and by that he means the end justifies the means. He is not limited by truth or following any rules or having any morality. The issue in his belief is pragmatic and strategic. He only asks of ends whether they are achievable. He only asks of means whether they will work. He says success or failure is a mighty determinant of ethics. So his ethics are based on winning. By winning, he means destroying the system, rather than based on any moral foundation. His idea was to infiltrate the system from within, and we have that in abundance. Our president right now and Secretary of State and all of their people and a great majority of the people in the government at all the levels, the Senate, the House of Representatives, and a significant part of the Supreme Court are Saul Alinsky followers. His motto was always forward, which is interesting because that's now Obama's motto. It was his motto during the 30s, during the 40s, when he wrote his book, and it was a motto for Obama when he was a community organizer. Alinsky, by the way, was a community organizer. That's what he called himself. He wanted to do the conversion incrementally. His conversion was from the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, free market capitalism, to Marxism. And as a matter of fact, if you really look what we've done, we have substantially converted. His idea is to make the enemy to live up to his own book of rules. That when challenged, it's always First Amendment freedom for any of the really bad stuff that they do. His tactic is to use ridicule. If you notice, whenever a Republican gets a little power, the left immediately tries to ridicule. They ridicule a person's hair, his height, his weight, his ears. It doesn't matter. But they focus on ridicule rather than debating because they know they can't win a real serious debate. They want to keep the pressure on. That is, they come up with something like some freedom they believe or some point, and they pound and pound and pound and pound until they get it. Then they go to the next one. They pound and pound and pound and pound until they get it. And that way they incrementally take away our freedoms with rules and rules and rules and laws. He says that power is not what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. And people have used it on many occasions. They bluff, and we have to know that we just need to call their bluff at every turn. He says the price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. In other words, you only don't do something because there's something more nasty you can do. How do we combat that? First of all, we need to point out that the opposition is using Saul Alinsky techniques. That is, we need to make Saul Alinsky and Saul Alinsky techniques the common vocabulary of everybody in the country. So when somebody does the ridicule thing, people can say, oh, they're just using Saul Alinsky. They don't have any way to debate this seriously. They're using Saul Alinsky. They're not bound by the truth. They're using Saul Alinsky. They're trying to divert us. So whatever the Saul Alinsky technique is, we just need to call them on it and call them on it and call them on it. And then we need to use the Alinsky technique of keeping the pressure on. No Republican ought to ever get up without saying Solyndra and Keystone Pipeline and Fast and Furious, and just over and over and over and over. And we need to call a lie and keep calling it a lie. None of this, well, I don't think that's quite the truth. Say, he's a Saul Alinsky liar. He's a Saul Alinsky liar. Because, and I guess I'll go back to the Hitler notion, that if you repeat something long enough, a lie becomes the truth. Well, that won't be the case if we keep calling it a lie. A lie will really be a noticeable lie. And the next thing is we need to tell the truth. You can't be a fellow liar. You just have to tell the truth, and people will respect you for it. One of our founders says people will sometimes be encouraged by the truth, and other times be astounded. The bottom line, being passive is doom. Go along to get along is the road to totalitarianism. If we just say, well, okay, we can give them that, we can give them this, well, we'll do this next time. Well, we'll put this off for now. If we do that, we're done for. We never give any ground in the name of compromise. Remember, they're incrementally eating us to death. Since they're doing that, we need to incrementally, or better yet, big chunks, take their power away. We need to eliminate entire chunks of the government to get rid of the Alinskyites that have populated the government. We need a strong moral compass. If you don't have a strong moral compass, then you are very likely to be in this, well, this time, well, maybe, okay. If that's the kind of thinking you have, we're all in trouble. You need a real vision about what is required. And what is required, remember, is standing up to the media. We need to be in a position, or we need to put ourselves in a position where the media is going to say really bad things about us. And then we say, it's a lie, it's Saul Alinsky, it's Saul Alinsky, these people are left-wing Saul Alinskyites, they're telling lies, and then we just beat them up with their own technique in that regard. What can you do? Go to bobblackdistrict4.com, that's my website. There are links there in a piece on Saul Alinsky. There's also additional information to help support the Constitution and defeat the socialists. Thank you.